Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. Today I'd like to talk to you very briefly about the value of good customer service. Now, this is generally in any interfacing role that your business will have with your customers. So let's say it's on a personal level. You want your staff to be pleasant, friendly, polite, and always eager to help the customer, because the customer is really, really important. A bad interaction with a staff member can mean that a customer will either leave a bad review or just not come back to your business, and that can be really problematic. Locally, we've got one shop which prioritizes customer service as one of their main sort of key focuses, and I find myself going down to the shop sometimes even just to say hi and communicate with the staff, and that's really good because I'm regularly visiting the store. Now, this applies to a huge amount of people, and that's one of the reasons that their shop is successful enough to have a large number of staff working there. And because they've got more staff working there, they're able to move the products faster. And yes, this does create problems with turnover, and they basically bring more stuff in and they ship more stuff out. But at the same time, they're making sure that they've got an efficient, well-run business because the staff are all on board with making the experience as positive as possible. Now, think about it like this. If you go to a store and there's somebody who's stacking shelves and you need help, and you go to that person for help, would you rather that they continue to stack the shelves and was just like, oh, find another staff member? Or would you rather that they were enthusiastically, okay, I'm going to help you right now? Now, this is really, really effective because yeah, they may need to stack the shelves, and that's something that's going to get done anyway. But if they're actually interacting with the customer, that's going to ensure the customer's going to be coming back and that they're having a positive experience. So it's really, really important to just keep that as a key focus when you're running a business. And a lot of the people I've worked with, especially recently, have been small shops who just want to kind of increase things. So I've been looking into the concept of talking to their staff and making sure that their staff are all on board with the idea of providing a good customer service. So when it comes down to it, your business is really important, and it reflects the way that your people that work for you act reflects on your business. Are you just a boring grey corporate blob, or are you a very, very personal company that actually sees to the needs of its clients? And this can affect just about any business. So in any way, shape or form, you need to be providing good customer service. Let's say you're getting a review online. You want to respond to that review in a positive way, even if it's a really, really negative review. Let's say someone came in, they had the worst time of their lives and they were really miserable. Be genuinely apologetic, try and sort things out, and be friendly with this person, because not only is that response an advertisement for your company and how you are and how you behave, this is also really, really important for potentially turning someone's opinion round, because they might be fed up with your business and they might not want to come back, but if you treat them like a human being, they're more likely to want to return. Now, it can be a little bit sketchy at times. So for example, I'll give you a problem that I've come across. So recently I was working with one of my legal clients, and somebody tried to contact someone tried to contact the company and find out information about one of their clients because they were a family member, and the company could not respond to them and give them that information because they hadn't had the rights sort of signed over. So basically, legally, they're not actually allowed to communicate with the family members until the person that is their client agrees with that. So this is a really, really big problem. And on top of having the one person complaining about the business, they went and told all of their friends, and their friends went and complained to the business. So it was a really, really complicated situation trying to sort that out, because Google doesn't necessarily remove reviews. So we had to go through every single one of these people and basically respond to them and say, we are not allowed to provide this service. We have to keep our clients' details confidential until they've signed a release for this information to this specific person. So it's one of those things where even if someone goes there, they see like 10 bad reviews, and they're all related, basically they're going to see all of these responses which are saying, okay, we're providing our services and we're doing so in a legal manner because we're not actually allowed to provide this to you without the release. So it's one of those situations where you deal with things in a professional manner. Um, in terms of like client satisfaction problems that I've come across, I've come across a huge amount of arguments from people and attacks on businesses, and sometimes business owners will lose their rag and they'll respond negatively to these. This is a really big problem. So when you think about it, just think about how you would want to be treated if you've had a bad experience. Who knows? You might even not know the people who are saying we've had a bad experience with your business. It doesn't matter whether or not they're a real person or not, or just like an enemy company that's trying to snipe you from afar. If you're responding in a positive way, that positive response is an advertisement for the quality of your service, and that is really, really important. It's like if people email you with information, like requests, or they want information from you, like let's say they want a GDPR request, you need to get that stuff done as quickly as possible for people, because having a very, very good quality of service will make it so that people will be a lot happier with the way that you have behaved. It basically reduces the negative impact. It reduces their urge to potentially leave bad reviews and things like that. And but sometimes it will even bring people back to a business. I'll give you an example with one of the restaurant companies I was working with. So I contacted my employer and I said, this person is really, really cheesed off with your business. They've complained about a really bad, basically they had a bad meal there, and it's like the music was too loud and everything like that. So I basically talked to the owner and said, okay, do you know anything about this person? They said, well, yeah, this person, they tend to like to complain about things, and they've been in once or twice before. So I said, well, we're going to take that on board. We're going to reduce the music. We're going to reduce the volume of the music, and we're going to invite them back for a free meal. And he was like, why give them a free meal? Well, they became a regular customer. So it's like one of these types of situation, you can turn around a really negative experience for someone into bringing them back as a full-time customer. I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but I tend to do that. But the value of having a really, really high level of customer service is absolutely astounding, because you're going to see your profits increase over time, because more people will find your business naturally, and if they're having good experiences, they're more likely to come back. The thing is, I've noticed a lot, especially when I'm dealing with things like hardware stores. Let's say I've got to go and pick something up from a hardware store. The customer service is negligible from the staff who are on the floor, because they're very hardworking and they're always trying to focus on getting the stuff done. But you get decent customer service at the tills, which is okay. But it's like when I went to a bedding shop a little while back, and there was this guy, and he was such a good salesman. He basically brought me through the entire process, and he didn't force me to buy something on the spot. It was just such a good experience with this guy. I had to give him a review. I didn't end up getting the thing because I found a cheaper and better option elsewhere. But I left a good review, and I said, "Hey, this guy's really, really good. Thank you ever so much for your help." Because the thing is, that this really, really affected me in a positive way. The fact that this guy was so helpful and really, really good. Now, I know I'm unique in terms of the way that I deal with things. I like a business that provides a good quality of service, mainly because I try and increase the quality of service of the businesses that I work with. But a lot of other people are like that. We're all different human beings. So just to round it all off and stop repeating myself a million times, prioritize customer service, because it will lead to profit and it will lead to an increase in your business. Anyway, have a lovely day. Sorry about the long rant, but I like talking. That's one of my problems. I'll catch you later. Bye.